I feel like this kind of points towards a really central Taoist concept of Wu Wei, this kind of, well, maybe you can unpack what that is, what that means.
It's basically what we are talking about right now because it's the idea of effortless action. I mean, literally translated is non-action, but that's a poor concept because that's not what they are saying. They're not inviting inactivity. They're inviting to act with the least amount of effort possible, as long as it delivers the results. So again, the least amount of effort may not be that little. In some cases, it's a lot of effort, but try not to go beyond what's needed to get the job done, because that's just a waste of energy. And so their thing is, as long as you figure out how to get the job done, then after that, figure out how to use as little energy possible to make that happen.
Right. I like this. There's a quote about, I'm not sure if it's the Tao never rushes, but everything gets done. But there's this, it really applies to nature, right? That, you don't see the plants rushing around to photosynthesize. They're just kind of doing what's in their nature, and everything gets done.
Yep. And so in that sense, the role of somebody in a position of leadership is to favor this process, is to just do little touches, to put people in a situation where they do what they do best. And then you are hands off and you let them do their thing. But you need to make those touches and adjustments to make kind of the whole symphony work, but you don't come too heavy-handed. So even in terms of government, the Taoists are saying as little government as possible, which does not mean no government, or in some cases as little as possible is still a good chunk, if that's what's needed to get the job done. But if it's not, cut it.
Yeah, I think it also kind of, maybe this principle can be used to kind of show one what is most kind of authentic to your needs. So like, if I'm lying in bed and I don't want to do anything, I'll eventually drink some water out of like thirst. I'll find myself getting up, drinking water, because I won't have to think about it or will myself to do it. Like it would be, I'd have to will myself to stay in bed and not drink water. That would take the yang effort. So that's something that's very much in my nature as a living thing, right? And whereas certain activities, you might suddenly realize that you're spending your time doing stuff that takes a lot of effort, and it's not really aligned with what you're about. And so I think it can be quite a useful way to really get your priorities straight, I guess.
Definitely. And it's a dance, right? Because it's a dance between, some of am I doing something because it's necessary? Am I doing something because I'm just overdoing it? Or am I doing too little? Am I giving into laziness, but actually what's needed for optimal result is a little more effort? And that's where that dance of opposites come in. And it changes over time. Some people by nature are more driven. They push themselves, they work hard, they have discipline. They need to learn a little more yin, a little more like, hey, relax, man, at some point. You can also take a breather, and you'll benefit from it. Other people are too content sitting back and doing nothing. And it's kind of like, okay, a little fire under your butt would not be a bad thing to just get you. So it's a process of constantly adjusting. You're going a little too far one way and you're kind of missing the boats there. Okay, let's give you 10% of the opposite energy to straighten the course a little.
Right. And you mentioned it's this kind of dance, like you're kind of, I guess, like aligning yourself with nature instead of kind of acting in like artificial ways. And there's this idea that I love in Taoism that it's kind of reality is a dance, right? It's kind of purposeless. It's not, there's no goal. It's not heading somewhere that our rational minds would be happy with. So it's kind of like, there's no meaning to life, but in the most joyous way possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not necessarily making some claims about the nature of reality that are that far off on like metaphysical ideas that are not provable. At the end of the day, a lot of Taoism boils down to all you know as a human is human life on Earth. Work on maximizing that in a way that works for you in the best way possible.
Right. And I think Alan Watts was quite eloquent on this as well. He used to kind of talk about, like existence being like a song or a dance, and if you think the point of music is to get to the end of the song, you've misunderstood, right? The point of it all.
Yes, definitely. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.